Joe, and the YMCA Community Center for having us. We are the African American drum culture. And what people often ask me is, if you're African American drum culture, why do you have white people in your group? Well, for those people that may have that question in their mind, the Underground Railroad, it consisted of white people and freed slaves. And what the white people did, white women, they would make quilts. And with those quilts, had a specific design on them. And that design would let the slaves know whether or not it was safe to knock on the door for shelter, or they had to stay and wait. So what we plan on doing today is taking you on a journey through African American history by way of drumming. We also want our listeners to understand that we just don't drum without purpose. We want to think about interpreting the language of drumming. So what we will begin to do before we actually begin our songs, our drum rhythms, is this is called a doom set. Now, I need to cut my phone off to make sure I do. That's called a doom set. Now, the rhythm that we're going to start is called I Want to Go Home. So when you hear that rhythm that she's going to play, there's purpose behind it, and we're going to explain that. And all the drummers up here are going to drum from their souls. So start the first part of this rhythm. She's going to start out real slow. Now, that starting slow means that they're leaving Africa from the ships. They're on the ships, and they're leaving Africa. When she speeds up, that means that they're on the water. And then when she begins to slow down, that means that the ship has arrived to shore. The rest of the drummers, including the percussionist, we will imagine, just for a minute, being at the bottom of that ship. And imagine, what were the cries? What were people, what were the whys? What were the moans? And the drummers here will play what they feel the purpose is, drawing it out of their DNA, and maybe get a rhythm that may be in their ancestral history that would be played on the drum as a moan, as a cry, as a why. Some of them jump ship. So we plan on doing a concert. This is just the beginning of interpreting the language of drumming. We plan on doing a concert, and we'll be working with Chris. And for any of you guys that are interested and you want to be on the mailing list or text list, or you want my card or whatever, we will make sure that you get that you get that information. We just got started in April of 2025. What I have experienced is African drummers, they have drum rhythms that reflect their culture. They have drum rhythms for farming, drum rhythms for weddings, drum rhythms for funerals. Everything in their culture has a drum rhythm. And for years I played with some of the African drummers, and I said, well, why come we don't have any rhythms that reflect our culture? So you'll hear some of the rhythms, and we don't have time to go into it today, And all of the rhythms that we're going to play is going to be rhythms that reflect our culture. The name of this rhythm is called, can you imagine, just for a minute, just imagine this. Everybody wants to go home. That's our safe haven. Can you imagine somebody taking you out of your home and taking you across the world for their purposes, and all generations after you are there to serve their purpose? The name of this rhythm is called I Want to Go Home. We always get the same response. Everybody wants to just sit and just dwell on what they heard. The name of this song is called Courage. Everything that we've been through as Black people and African American, it took courage. And we still exercising courage to this day. The name of this rhythm is called Courage. And what you're going to start out hearing is a call and response. She's like almost, she's the main attraction. Good? Testing 1, 2, 3. We're just going to do a test real quick. Let's play a clip. So 1, 2, 3, and. The next thing that we had to pursue after we had the courage was freedom. After they arrived ashore, they were like, we got the courage maybe to run away, maybe to join Harriet Tubman, maybe to join a host of other people that we don't know about that led the trails to freedom. But the bigger question is the freedom part. They had no idea what that freedom was going to lead them to. It was all unknown territory for the most part, maybe beginning, starting out, but once a lot of the slaves had reached freedom, then I'm sure they communicated and said it's better or whatever. But it took courage to take freedom. It took courage to pursue freedom back then. And freedom doesn't end there. We're still pursuing freedom. Right. Freedom in standard operating procedures that discriminate, freedom in policies, freedom from legislation, freedom from unfair housing. The list goes on and on and on. So it's an ongoing fight. Only difference is a little bit now it's just a little more comfortable for some of us. Some of us it's not comfortable at all. Like Malcolm X said, the price for freedom is death. The name of this rhythm is called Freedom. after they reached so-called freedom, they had to keep their eyes on the prize, not just one prize, several prizes. They had to keep, currently we're staying focused. We have people that are staying focused and getting involved in legislation so we can get that prize for maybe fair housing, increased wages. Those slaves, and I think about Harriet Tubman, man, she was focused on the prize. And she had a sleeping disorder, so she would just fall asleep on the trail. But she had a very strong support system that said, you can't go back. Those of you that want to go back, you can't go back. We can't afford to let them know what our route is. The name of this rhythm is called Eyes on the Prize. I know the one thing we did right was the day we started to fight. Keep your eyes on the prize, oh Lord. That's it, y'all. We got another rhythm. It's called C-Sex. So while we're keeping our eyes on the prize currently, because there's always a quest for different types of freedom that we want to be free from, but we have to find creative ways to deal with all of that that's going on. So I would imagine that attorneys that are working towards the violation of civil rights violations, they got to find loopholes in the system. They got to be real creative on how they go about pursuing all these avenues of justice. And I'm sure that the slaves had to be creative too.
That's right.
The name of this rhythm is called C-Say. Like to be silent at the end. I don't know what that's all about. Since we have time left, we want to do a rhythm that we've been working on that we have not performed. So in the pursuit of being creative, pursuing the freedom, keeping our eyes on the prize, and remembering our Black history, our African American history, however you want to word it, we had to march. During the Civil Rights Movement, they had to march. And one of the things that happened during the Civil Rights Movement is they let the dogs out. When they let the dogs out, there were a lot of protesters. They got bitten. And it wasn't just a mild bite. Some of them got some parts bitten into deeply and removed. Because the kids are here won't say it. But what did they do? They kept marching. There was marches held after that. There's still marches going on to this day for justice. We got what George Floyd was the last, I think, major march that I know of. And then we have other ethnic groups that are marching. It's just an ongoing thing. And so what we have to remember is, it's the young people that's going to take us to the new frontier. Because we getting older, tired a little bit. I've been marching since I was 12 years old. I'm not going out there to march no more. I'm tired. I got some health issues, and I'm not doing that. But I will go drive as close as I can to where the marchers are, and drop off some water or milk or whatever else y'all need. I can support you that way. I can support you financially. So yeah, sometimes you just gotta march. The name of this rhythm is called marching.
Every time you present